It's inside of me. It's like the tide of it's falling and rising. Hey, what's up guys? It's Sher and I'm Shadowhunters Trash, and this episode made me sad. It was just sad. It was a sad episode. I don't know. I think it was like the energy and the atmosphere of the episode was just so sad because everything was kind of leading up to Jocelyn's funeral and the aftermath of her death, and it was just tragic. Now please remember, I make completely unbiased reviews of Shadowhunters the TV show because I have not read Shadowhunters the books. So, this episode had 3 basic plot lines. Clary trying to deal with her mother's death and wanting to bring her back to life. Simon telling his mom that he's finally a vampire. And 3, Alec trying to make amends for his mistake when the demon was inside him. Quite frankly, 4, where was Luke? You guys remember in my last review, the first thing I said was, who's gonna tell Luke? Does he even know? Does he know? Anyway, they sidelining my man when he's supposed to be mourning his girl. It's just ridiculous. So this episode starts with Alec, actually, who's trying to deal with the fact that he was a part of Clary's mother's death. And he's being really emotional and emo about it. And am I the only one who didn't really care? I'm sorry, but this wasn't about Alec, so him getting so much screen time about trying to make amends to Clary and not being able to face Clary, it just kind of pissed me off, to be quite honest and quite frank. I didn't care. This isn't about him, it will never be about him, and they gave him too much screen time. So that's all I'm going to say on that. We see Clary, who is kind of she's in this weird state of shock and denial. In last week's episode, we saw her completely in shock. She wasn't even crying. And then this episode, she was kind of chill. Emotionally, she was chill. But she was yeah, my mom's dead, but I don't want her to be anymore. And she ends up having this talk with Simon, and she decides, you know what, I'm going to try to bring my mama back. So she goes through the warlock case files, and she finds a warlock. And she goes to her house, where she is a doctor for mundanes, and she lives there. And then she's also a demon warlock shadow hunter doctor. And she's like, yeah, I can bring your mom back. And then she shows her bringing back a bird. So she brings the bird back to life, and then she goes to Clary, and she's like, see, I can do it, and it's possible. So if you want to, take this route, let's go ahead and do so. And Clary's like, hell yeah, because she wants her mama back, and that's fine. So she goes ahead and she does it, and she's like, I'll just need a lock of hair, and then for payment, since you don't got no money, I want a favor. So basically, you're going to prick your little finger, give me a little bit of your blood, and then whenever I need you, I'm going to get that favor from you. And she's like, okay, cool, that seemed a little shady, but cool. I want my mom back. So it doesn't even really matter to her. And it should. Jace is back in town with the rest of his Shadowhunter crew. We get to see him working with Isabel, who's still dealing with the little shoulder nag that she got in last week's episode because the demon was inside her. They cut her open to get the demon out. And so we have to deal with that, and she's sparring with Jace and everything. They're having a cute brother-sister moment, and I was living for it. I like seeing fight scenes, and their fighting style is so choreographed. It's pretty. It's very pretty work. You should go get it checked out. And she's like, no, I can't go get it checked out because the Iron Sisters are coming, and I want to lead that mission because I want to meet these Iron Sisters. And I was like, bitch, me too, the fuck? So she's gonna go, she's gonna go see the Iron Sisters, but she's worried because Aldertree isn't gonna let her go if she, feels bad. So he's like, I can't let you go, but you know what, I got some drugs for you. So here, come take these drugs, and I'm put a little bit on your shoulder, and you'll feel better. Tell me why this drug seems like the most arousing thing. This has to be a thing for Molly or something. Cause who takes some medicine and starts moaning like they having sex? Like, this bitch was like, and she started crying. Like, I've been talking about this scene forever. I thought he was saying something real sweet to her, you know, kissing on her neck or something. Nah, this nigga just gave her some medicine, and it's so good. This medicine make her feel so good. She ready to just get it on. Like, she put it on twice, and both times she was. That's just so embarrassing. Like, as an actress, that has to be so weird. And then she started crying. Like, I just wonder, like, for Emerald, like, how did she get to that place? Because to be so aroused you cry, that's really, like, I've never been to that point, so I can't say anything. Oh man, but I loved it. It was, my gay ass was like. So then we have Simon, who finally decides to move back in with his mother, which is amazing. I'm really glad that he went back home. But then his sister comes and she steals his blood, and she's like, this is real blood, why do you have real blood, da 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 da. Then he talks to his mom and he finally comes out and says it. He's like, Mom, I'm a vampire. And she's like, oh, you're serious. So she's giving him a hug and thinking everything will be alright. And she thinking that her son is having a mental breakdown or something. Not that he's being realistic with her. And then she catches him drinking a rat's blood. I don't know how he's going to get out of that one, because I can't even say no more about that one. But man, I think the scene that really got to me though was when they were at the funeral. They were all wearing white, which was gorgeous. And they were like, say the names of the fallen, and then it got to Clary and she was like trying to say Jocelyn, and she just said my mom, and she started crying, and I was just like, oh my god. And Jace was right there beside her, and I really liked that. Even though they can't be together, I really like that this friendship that they have, because the thing is, I always felt like their relationship was a little rushed. I feel like now they can just gain a friendship and just enjoy each other's company. Even though they might want a little bit more than what they can have, I think it's nice for them to, you know, have a friendship, and hopefully they can move past all that nastiness. And then at the very end of the episode, we see Luke in the woods, naked, looking up at the sky, looking probably for the full moon, and we see his body jerking and changing. And I think that means he's mourning his girl, because like, this nigga is just in the woods being a wolf, being a man, trying to figure out his life. And then they didn't even show him in the preview for next week's episode. It was all about Alec, and like, low-key, I don't give a fuck about Alec right now. I'm trying to see where my baby Luke is at. So, what are we gonna do? Hopefully we get some sneak peeks and stuff throughout the week, because I'm really concerned about Luke. Like, and I feel like nobody else is. Why doesn't nobody care about Luke? Y'all don't be giving him no love. What's wrong with y'all? Overall, I just feel really bad for Clary and Luke. I mean, this is someone that they both loved so dearly, and to have her just completely disappear and be dead, like, I couldn't even fathom losing a parent. Like, it's just awful, and I want to see them be okay. And I understand that Alec was upset, and I think it was really nice that he went with Clary to make amends, because turns out the warlock is crazy, and she wants to create a Shadowhunter demon baby and make like an evil Jace baby, which is basically what Jace is. She want to make another Jace, basically. And she's raising these like warlock children, and she's taking Shadowhunter mommies and like making them breed children over and over again. And then she wipes their memories, which is bold as fuck. I want to remember who my kid is, like, regardless of if I raised them or not. And it was just really shady. And then she kidnapped Clary and was going to force her to basically be raped by a demon. And then she was like, then Isabel came and Jace came to save the day. And they were like, you can save Clary now, but she's still going to owe me She's still going to owe me a favor because she took the blood oath. And like, I don't know where that's gonna go, man. Fam, she gonna come back in like season 5 and be like, bitch, I'm back and I got a favor to ask of y'all. Can you guys let me know if she was in the books? Because, like, this storyline was wild as fuck, man. Like, her going to the demon trying to bring her mom back. And I heard that her mom didn't die in the series. So this is going completely left compared to what they were doing, you know, in the book. So go ahead and let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can like, comment, subscribe if you want to. It's all fun and games here. And I will see you guys next week, okay? Okay, so for whatever reason my camera stopped recording, so I didn't get to say bye like I usually do. So, love ya, see ya, bye!